Well, it's just been brought to my attention how insanely busted Melody is. So, yeah, these are legal in normal Blitz, right? So you don't have to play them in UPF. You can play them in normal Blitz, in competitive Blitz, and Melody is broken, and there's no other way to put it. She's just busted. She will easily probably hit LL if everyone just runs this final act, right? So whenever this attacks, it gets plus X, where X is twice the number of cards in all pitch zones, right? So my brain's spaced, and the obvious setup is just to burn through copper tokens, right? So how high can you actually get final act, and how easy is it to actually get it off? Well, I was looking into it, and it's pretty insane. So already there are 6 songs showcased. So I count right? No, 7 songs showcased, right? They're all blue, so they all pitch for 3. And you can run 2 copies, right? So that is already 14 cards to make up your deck and to trigger Melody's own effect, which is whenever you play a song, create a copper token. This is not a once per turn, so it is anytime you play a song, right? So you go first on turn 1, you could just spam 4 songs because they're all 0 cost, right? And you generate 4 copper token right away, okay? If you run all blue, right? So you can always pitch 3. And then the only red card is final act, right? Find final act, stick it in your arsenal, generate enough copper, and then just burn through blue cards, and you have a massive OTK, right? It's insane. Let's just break it up and do the math, shall we? Right? So how many copper tokens do you need to get this off? And how many turns to set up? And how much damage are you actually hitting for, right? So they're the 3 big elements. Okay, so if you're just running all blue, okay, first turn, if you have all 4 cards still in hand, you pitch all 4, that's 12. So you can pop 3 copper tokens, right? That generates 3 more cards. You pitch all 3, you're now at 9. So you can pop 2 more copper tokens. That then gets you 2 cards. You then pitch the 2 cards. You're now at 7 because you have 1 floating from the previous turn. So you can pitch 1 copper, right? And then you can do 1 copper, 1 copper, 1 copper. And essentially what you end up with is 12 cards in your pitch zone, right? All blue, 9 copper popped, and therefore a massive final act for 25 damage, right? So the setup is literally just find final act, stick it in your arsenal, and then just concede a turn, right? So that you have 4 blues in your hand, and just cycle through them, burn through them, and then play the final act, right? And the only real shutdowns that I can think of straight away are Buzzsaw Trap from Riptide, right? Because it prevents actions from gaining bonus attack, right? And then Warmongers, because then you can't play the copper and attack in the same turn. If there's any I've missed, let me know. But still, it is not going to be that hard to set this up, right? And then there's plenty of other ways to actually, improve upon it, right? You run all blue Sifs, okay? You run all the Seeker equipment. You run Merchant Hope's Hood, and you just find final act, and you just have all blues and maybe the Tomes of Ferendel, right? Because they're +1s. And yeah, it's just insane. So I think we'll look through the cards and we'll essentially generate what could be the deck, right? So straight away, the weapon is still going to be Jinglewood Smash, right? You can just pay 3 to create another copper token. So if you don't have songs, you can literally just pitch, play that, and give your opponent the choice of Might, Quicken, or Vigor, right? So it is just literally survive and generate. And again, in terms of turns, if there are, just a few more songs even, right? And you're able to play songs every turn. So again, first turn, you go first, you play 4 songs, you generate 4 copper, right? So that's already 4 out of the 9. That is pretty huge. You then tie in, pick a card or something like that, or any of the royal equipment to generate the other draw tokens. It is really going to be insane and out of hand straight away from the get-go for Melody, right? And this isn't even in a multiplayer setting where you generate multiple copper per heroes. On turn 1, right? If you can play 4 songs, right? You can generate, in a 4-player setting, you can generate 12 copper straight away. You're running all blue. As soon as you find final act, you can wipe someone off straight away, right? Because you can just do an insane amount of damage. Anyway, we'll probably use Cheyenne, right, as the blueprint, because they're not quite up on Fabtcg just yet. And yeah, all the cards will overlap except for Bard, but there aren't that many Bards, so it's fine. So we can take a look at equipment, and we can take a look at the other blue possibilities, and we'll probably just count it as these 7 songs being the only songs. I'm sure there's going to be more, but still 7 songs is still plenty, right? 14 cards, 14 ways to generate copper, plus the extra ways, just playing Jinglewood, and then a few other cards that are already in the game, in the generic slot. It is going to be bonkers. Right, so starting off, let's take a look at equipment choices, right? So head slot, I wish these were organized, not alphabetically. But we have Crown of Dominion for a gold token, right? It just helps, again, lower the need for all the copper, or even just add to the damage, allow you to pitch more cards. Crown of Providence is probably what I actually take, right? Because you can use it to then cycle a card and, again, look for Final Act, because that's going to be the real hurdle of the deck, is just being able to find one of the 2 Final Acts and stick it in your arsenal. Otherwise, Hope Merchant Hood's another way to shuffle, X amount of cards from your hand and, again, look for that Final Act. Then you have the choice of Silken Gi, right? So just destroy it. The next attack action card you play this turn has -1 and costs 1 less to play, so it makes Final Act free, right? That's pretty insane to me. And again, you have the -1, so it doesn't really matter. You're gaining the big bulk of damage from cards you pitch, right? So Silken Gi is a decent choice for the chest slot over Spring Tunic. I don't think you need the extra resources, nor do I think it would take, X amount of turns to actually generate this combo. Because again, to me, this combo, if you can find Final Act, is going to be something that you can pull off pretty quickly, right? Otherwise, just all the Seeker equipment would be my other choice. So instant, pay 1, destroy it. You can prevent 1 damage, so it helps you survive a little bit, but they all have opt, right? So you can look at your deck. If it's not Final Act, go straight to the bottom and find your Final Act. Similarly, Talismanic Lens. Again, I'd probably take the Hope Merchant's Hood because it allows you to cycle more cards, right? Yes, you can look at 2, but in this case, you can probably shuffle all 4 or 3 or 2. They're equivalent. Again, Crown of Providence would probably be my main pick, just because it has the defensive element as well, and then also allows you to cycle like Hope Merchant's Hood. Ooh, so yeah, and, if you run some of this other equipment, right, so you do the Hope Merchant's Hood, you do Silken Gi, and then just Seeker stuff, right, that's not an expensive deck, plus you're just throwing in the Blitz, Melody, right, as the core blueprint. This is going to be a real cheap OTK combo deck to pull off. So for whatever reason, generic doesn't seem to work, right? So showing me all the shapeshifter cards. Either way, right? We're just looking at blue. I mean, actually, you'd probably run, again, tomes, right? Probably run the Golgarian Tome because it's a -1 to your deck overall. The Tome of Ferendale because it's a +1 in draw usually, right? Pitch 1 for draw 2. And, there's a little bit of life gain too if you stick it in your arsenal, right? And then it's already essentially cutting your deck by 3 to 5 cards, depending how you look at it, right? Then 2 Final Acts. The 14 songs, so that's 16 cards plus 3, that's 19 cards. So we just need 21 other cards to flesh out this deck. And again, I'm pretty sure all you want to do is look at blue, pull out some cards, and then we'll see what the deck list looks like. Right, so here's all the cards that I think could be relevant to the deck, right? Obviously, a lot of cuts to make because you don't need this many. The Imperial Ledger, I think if you would run the Crown of Dominion, right, there's a decent choice to it. Finding it, though, right, and playing it, I don't think it's worth including it as a red, but, it's an option. Cash outs, right? Destroy any number of weapons equipment you control and create silver, right? Just a further way to extend the combo. Probably worth it, right? Just destroy some of your jank gear. Is it any number, right? So you probably only need 1, I guess. Create a silver token for each permanent and destroy this way. Yeah, so just 1. Right, and then you can destroy all your Seeker gear if you find Final Act beforehand. Right, so that'd probably be a 1. A Clarity Potion, destroy, opt 2. Seems kind of nice. Possibly cut, we'll put them to the sideboard, right? Main thing is the defensive things and ways to heal. So the Eye of Ophidia and the Eye of Ferendale, they're nice inclusions because you're generally trying to pitch them, but at the same time, yeah, you could probably cut them just for the sake of cheap. What you do want is defensive cards that cost something, right? So that way you can still cycle cards and draw, because that's a big thing. You don't want to stall out by just having blue cards that cost 0. So you do want cards that actually cost to play. So Brush Off, while being nice, you can prevent damage, it's an instant. You do want cards that actually cost and allow you to pitch, right? So again, cycling. So we'll probably cut those. The Energy Potions I don't think are too necessary. Hold the Line is... was it? Attacking hero has drawn 2 or more. That's probably situational, right? If you're against, Assassin, probably Benji, any of the ninjas, you probably want Hold the Line. Snatch, 0 cost, get rid of it. Sing Blow allows you to cycle, so keep that, even though it's the blue variant, so it's the weaker one. Sift, again, allows you to cycle. There's a third one, Trade It, right? Also allows you to cycle. So you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Again, the big objective, just find Final Act, right? And build 9 copper at the very least, right? 9 copper, you're hitting for 25. 8 copper, I suppose you're hitting for 1 less, right? Did I do that right? So it's -2, so you're still hitting for 23. You throw in, silver generated from cash out or the Crown of Dominion, or even pick a card if you get lucky, right? And yeah, it could get more insane. or even you just generate more copper. Well, no, you can't generate more copper, right? So 9 is the maximum you can play, unless you have other ways to generate resources, like the energy potions we cut, or I guess the Spring Tunic. Spring Tunic wouldn't actually allow you to play any more copper, because you need it in lots of 4, so you'd have to be able to generate 4 more energy for this to actually play out with 1 extra copper, right? So I think don't go for that, right? 9 copper is the objective, Final Act in the arsenal is the objective, and just play defensively. Run anything that, you know, regens HP, is a good defensive card, allows you to cycle, and prevents damage. They're the big things to look out for. Potion of Ironhide, probably too slow. Potion of Luck, too slow as well. Again, we need, how many cards was it? 21, right? Including the Tome and the Gorgonian Tome, right? So 21 cards, and it's not going to be too hard, right? Sink Below, Sift, Trade In, that's already 6 for cycling. This round's on me, each hero draws, and then -1, that's decent in itself. Warmongers, it's decent. Oracle, I guess, because it's up 2, so I do like that. You probably don't need Moon's Wish. Did I include Moon's Wish? Yeah, right. You just play Sun's Kiss. You just gain 1 for the round. It's maybe a little bit slow, right? Oasis, Respite, and Erina's Prayer are probably the better ones. Enchanting Melody is probably too slow. Fateful Scene is... it's decent. Whispers of the Oracle is just better, plus it does go again. Yes, get rid of that. Right. It's a defense reaction. No, that is actually decent, right? Because you can defend with it, and you can also then opt... let's get that back. Fateful Scene, right? Just blue variants. So we're at 49. So still lots of cuts to be made. When you defend, you may pay 2 to give it +1. No, that's not that great. Brush Off, 0 for -1 is kind of nice. Peace of Mind. Next time you take damage, prevent 2, and upon the token, so draw, plus it costs 2. I think that's good. Right, let me try and make some cuts. Right, I think these are the cards of relevancy, right? Of course, still need cuts, you know, as we see more songs and more Final Act, or have access to Melody, we can build it a bit better. But yeah, these are all the main defensive cards. You know, there's probably rankings out there, right? I don't know defensive that well, right? I do combo decks, but I don't do heavy stall like this. And all blue, right? That's an interesting constraint. But yeah, Warmongers, you know, it's a decent lockout card. Again, we have Trade In, Sift, Rise Above. This round's on me to cycle. Pick a card and Potion of Seeing. This one I'm curious about, right? Because Potion of Seeing is instant. Can you use this in between the 2 effects of pick a card, right? So you look at your opponent's hand, the name card. Oh no, it says choose a random. Never mind. Because I was going to say, I was thinking in my head that your opponent shuffles their hand and then you pick. But no, so you probably don't need the Potion of Seeing, right? Just pick a card to generate, again, more silver. If you can generate silver and gold, you can extend the combo chain. Granted, though, you then need that amount of cards left in your deck to actually still play Final Act, right? So there is, you know, a point of no return if you're not able to find Final Act quick enough. So I think Opt in that case is a lot more relevant than just drawing and cycling through cards. So having all the different ways to opt or to put cards back and look for something is far better. So I'd probably get rid of Trade In, actually, because you discard a card, right? So it's a -1 to draw. And then, yeah, just play defensively and opt. Opt being the big thing. Can we look at, did I miss any cards with opt? Right? OPT and blue. Just the Eye of Ophidia. Probably worth it. Even bigger than that, opt 1. Nope. Foresight is only if it lands, right? Or played from the Arsenal. Hits. Nope. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we've got them all. The main 2 being the Oracle and Fateful Scene, as well as there was another one that opt. Didn't it? No. But yeah, so Rise Above, top of your deck to pay the cost. Block for 2. Again, the block is a little lacking. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that hard, especially if there's more than the shown songs included, and they are all 0 blue. Right, that's insane that there's 0 blue, right? That would be the deterrent of the deck if these weren't blue, but the fact that they are blue, you can just feed into copper so much. Anyway, it'll be fun to craft and play. This is my jam, if you didn't know. I do have a Flail OTK Cheyenne deck, right? Takes a lot more setup than this, and I also did a Flick Knives that was even more setup. Flick Knives Benji for an OTK. But yeah, Melody. I honestly think she's just going to be broken at this point, looking at the cards and the fact that, yeah, again, that copper was pointed out to me because that is what I spaced on, and it is just a hell of a lot easier now to buff Final Act. All right, all blue, Final Act, 9 copper, 25 damage. Insane.